Oh, you have it. You can do it.
Yeah, so I just
Wonderful.
record to
Yeah.
the cloud. I don't know where in the cloud it's recording to, though.
We can figure that out as long as it's recording. I've seen this happen before. If it's recording, I see the recording button, so it's recording.
Okay, so it will record somewhere.
It's
Okay.
recording right now. It'll record through the whole thing.
Okay, I have, I'm gonna get my phone and put it on so that my face will be on here, and then just mute the sound on it.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to host it on my phone because the battery might die.
Okay.
Uh, so let's see. Okay, I should have a minute to do that.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming early. We're just setting up the recording. We're all good friends of Serena. Some of us were very close to her. Some of you, I'm sure, also were also. And we just wanted to thank you for coming over to this. And welcome.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be starting in about 3 minutes. So let's see. Oh, I guess I have to let myself in.
Right back. I've got to get better blueberries. Berries are moldy.
Oh gosh.
You look great.
Yeah, I don't like looking at myself, but
Yeah, you look great. Don't
whatever.
worry about it. This is about Serena. Just
Yeah.
do your thing.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Let me see here. Do I need to type in anything? I'm usually setting up meetings and not joining them, so let me see here.
Right at the moment, I think that everyone can speak and no one's muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm muted and Carla is muted. But I think we just did that to ourselves.
Okay.
Hi, I just unmuted myself. Hi, everyone.
Hi. So anybody can mute and unmute. When a lot of people start coming in here, we might want to mute ourselves to avoid having latency issues. Just to be clear, Sumiko, everybody can see her like as the main speaker right now. Is that correct?
I see her name. Yeah, it's here. Yeah.
Okay, so she's the one that everybody can see. No. Okay.
Yeah, I am muted on the one with my picture, so that's why you can just see my name. But I could probably change the one that's muted so that it's less confusing.
You're fine. This is fine.
Okay.
And I'm muted for audio quality, so we don't have echo.
Okay, so Rain's gonna start the ceremony. So in a minute, I'm gonna mute everyone except for Rain.
Okay.
I thought DeTracy was starting.
Huh?
I thought DeTracy was starting.
Okay, DeTracy is not here.
Okay, I can do it. It's no problem.
But I do not see DeTracy. So,
let me just finish getting set up. Got a little like 2 minutes.
Okay.
get the most challenged person there is for me.
We might be on now. Hello? Hi, Rand. Hi, Rand, that looks really cool, your room.
Yeah, this is Serena's altar. I built this yesterday for her.
Oh.
I can explain a little bit about it.
Oh my God, it's absolutely beautiful.
Whoops.
I've been looking at it, just thinking of her and feeling her energy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to explain a little bit about it while the charcoal coal gets hot enough to start with the incense, so that everybody knows what they're looking at.
Yes.
I realize not very many people are familiar with the type of spirituality that Serena and I embrace, which is basically Icean magic. We believe in the goddess and the god, the Egyptian pantheon and all pantheons, and we're a faith that does no harm. So much of our work is within the Egyptian pantheon, and that's what this is all about. Serena was a priestess of Bastet, and Sekhmet, and Isis. So Tracy, who I believe will be on a little bit later, she's going to be handling the Isis portion of dedication, and I am handling Bast here and Sekhmet. So I
Hi,
have
John.
two statues related to those deities, as well as a big giant pyrite, a beautiful Kundalini rose quartz, and a huge amethyst tower with a copper jed pillar. The jed is the spine of Osiris and represents rebirth and renewal. Serena can live on in her next adventure. And this, of course, is the beautiful picture that James Leon did of Serena in her temple.
Oh, rad. Okay.
Are all the constellations in our universe. And here is Sekhmet again, and here is Bast again. We have roses, red roses for our. We have some silver lotuses and egg, again representing rebirth, and some selenite spirals behind the lit candle, and a labradorite base. We have 7 candles representing the 7 muses, the Pleiades, which in the Fellowship of Isis, which Serena was also a priestess of, is very significant. Most of the rites and rituals relate to the Pleiades and the 7 sisters and the 7 spheres of consciousness and being. So we have 7 candles for that. We have earth, fire, water, and air. Air is coming up. We start with a little bit of spellbreaker incense. This will help untie karmic knots for Serena in her current incarnation. And I can definitely feel her here, so she's meowing behind me. Start with that. And that also cleanses the altar, it cleanses us. We like to waft it over our minds and our hearts. I know a lot of you are magical people out there, and I realize that this may not be your cup of tea, but it was definitely Serena's. So I hope that you enjoy this brief ceremony. The offerings that we make. What we're going to do today is we're going to make some offerings to Bast and then to Sekhmet as well. We're going to call in the directions first, and then we're going to basically make some offerings for Serena on her journey. We're going to give her some food. We're going to give her a coin of passage for the boat of 1,000,000 years. And we're going to also give her the breath of life. And we're going to present Ushaptis. Ushaptis are tiny little mummy statues. They look kind of like this. They come in 3 or 4 different formats. And wealthy people would put these in their tombs. And they represent helpers in the next life. So we're going to be giving her all the Ushaptis I have for her next life. And if you have any anointing oil, now would be a good time to anoint yourselves. go ahead and do that and anoint the goddesses on the altar. You basically say, I anoint myself in the name of the goddess Isis of 10,000 names. No harm shall come to me or mine this day or any other day. So it is. Anoint the goddess As. Anoint the goddess Sekhmet. Now we're ready for some frankincense. Here we go. This frankincense is from Ethiopia. This purifies everything, and it gets pretty much anything evil or negative out of this space and out of this realm, so that the good energy can remain very, very effective. I'll put that up to Sekhmet. I'll put that up to Bast. Now that the altar's ready, I'm going to call in the 4 directions. My background is very diverse, so I tend to use one of the Native American methods of calling in the directions. It's not a particularly Egyptian method. I know you all have your own, but we start by facing east. Hail to the east, element of air, the place of the eagle, highest flying of all birds, the place where we have future sight. Welcome, east. Hail to the south, the place of green things, the place of rebirth, the place of seeing what is obvious. Welcome you, south. Hail to the west, the place of the bear of introspection. We welcome you, west. Hail to the north, the place of wisdom, the white buffalo. We welcome you, west, south, east, and now north. Hail to grandfather and father sky. Welcome. And now to the earth, what is below, our ancestors, grandmother and mother earth, Unshi Maka, Ina Maka. Welcome. Take a few seconds to ground yourselves. Close your eyes for just a moment and just breathe in. We're going to breathe in your sanctum, breathe out, infinite space. Breathe in, inner sanctum, breathe out, infinite space. Inner sanctum, infinite space. Inner sanctum, infinite space. Welcome to this beautiful memorial for our beloved Serena. Yeah. Now, I will make the offerings to Bast and invoke her energy. Hail, Mother Bast, Lady of the harvest wine, Lady who walks between the lines, she who walks with Anubis, she who is sacred to all felines, she who is mother to all feline gods and goddesses, she of the beginning, Lady of love and life. Hail, Bast, Bastet. Sasa Kim Sahu, Bast, Bastet. Sasa Kim Sahu, Bast, Bastet. I offer you this wine. I offer you this catnip, the favorite offering of Serena's. Great lady, welcome and thank you. Now, I honor and invoke the goddess Sekhmet. Hail, Sekhmet, Lady of the Flame, Mother of Lions, she who heals the wounded warrior on the battlefield, she who is the knowledge of surgeons, she who is the green lady who heals, Mother Goddess, great Eye of Ra. Hail, Sekhmet, Sasa Kinsahus, Sasa Kinsahus, Sasa. Great lady, welcome. I honor you today with offerings of cactus. I offer you today spring water so that you may not be drunk. Your wisdom and your power is strong. Welcome and hail, Sekhmet. Now, I make some offerings for Serena in prayer to her journey, the first of which is food. She was a vegetarian, so I have apples and a few blueberries here. These are for your journey, Serena, great priestess of Bastet, great priestess of Sekhmet. Sasakin Sahu, Serena, Denise. You walk this holy incense, that no evil, no wickedness, no harm shall come to you on your journey. May your spine be straight. I offer you this coin for passage on the boat for a million years. Though you need no coin for passage as a priestess and beloved of Isis Offset, here it is. I offer you Serena, the breath of life. May your rebirth be fruitful and joyous. And in that new life, I offer you many Ushantis, many helpers. I offer you my friendship again. I wear this Ushanti in your honor, so that all the cosmos will see we are friends forever. Lastly, all of these people have offerings for you. They are their prayers, they are their love, they are their unity. Malbas, Malbas, Malbas. Peace be with you on your journey, sister. I activate these crystals to help you. Pyrite for grounding and protection. Amethyst for purity and cleansing. Most important of all, rose quartz for love. In your rebirth, here is carnelian aid to aid you in your solar journey. The gift of the Eye of Ra. Hail, Serena Toxicat, priestess of Offset, Fast, and Sekhmet. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing what you have to say and do and offer.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can, oops, and there we go. I'm muted. Great. Okay, good. Lorianne is not the person that's going to speak. I can't believe I said that. DeTracy is going to speak. Please forgive me for that. So I'm going to unmute DeTracy next. Please.
Okay, hi. Let me go live here. Thank you, Samiko. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you for that lovely rain. That was beautiful. I think all of us here agree that Serena is an exceptional, shining spirit and one that is not going away from us. But I hope that we can help her through the early days of her new life on the other side. I think many of us do sense her around us and feel her. And of course, we miss her very, very badly. I'd like to read The Rite of Restoration, which is a way of helping a departed spirit come back into control of their form. And hopefully this will be useful to Serena in the other world. Come to your house, oh beautiful being. come to your house. Your body awaits, renewed and ready. Come occupy your form for your travels beyond. Swift and sharp is your mind, your beautiful mind. Wit without limit, your beautiful mind. Strong and mighty are your limbs, your beautiful limbs. Moving without limit, your beautiful limbs. Clear and bright are your eyes, your beautiful eyes. Seeing without limit, your beautiful eyes. Full and pink are your lips, your beautiful lips. Speaking without limit, your beautiful lips. Red and moist is your tongue, your beautiful tongue. Tasting without limit, your beautiful tongue. Clear and soft is your skin, your beautiful skin. Protecting without limit, your beautiful skin. Strong and steady is your heart, your beautiful heart. Beating without limit, your beautiful heart. Deep and full is your breath, your beautiful breath. Breathing without limit, your beautiful breath. All things are perfect within you, Serena. All functions are restored within you. Wholly perfect, wholly restored. Awaken into your body of light, justified spirit. Your trials are past. The measure is made, the weight is balanced. As a new being, you go forth in the daytime, you go forth in the light. As a new being, you go forth in the nighttime, you go forth in the night. Go forth, beloved one. Isis is before you, Nephthys is behind you, Anubis guides you, Osiris welcomes you. Until rebirth you shall remain an honored guest at his table. At the table of Osiris, you take your seat, whole and perfect. Among the blessed, you take your seat.
Hi. So thank you very much to Tracy and Rain for those lovely ceremonies. I wanted to make sure that Serena was honored with her religious beliefs, and you know, I think that there's a lot of people here who knew her, and that probably people would like to say words about Serena. But there's a whole bunch of people, and I don't want everyone like just to randomly unmute at once. So if you could just in the chat room, if you're able to do that, just write that you would like to say some words, and then everyone else can get muted, and then you can speak, and that way we won't all be, oh, and by the way, we're being recorded, so you should know that you're consenting to have this recorded as a part of the memorial for her. And my name is Nico. Hi. Okay, let's see. Okay, would anyone like to speak? Okay, John would. Okay, thank you.
I would like to read one of her poems.
Okay, Vince. That'd be nice, but John asked first, so I'm gonna go ahead and have John first.
This is going to be from Paper Wings.
Okay. So let's go ahead and have John first, though.
Okay.
Yes.
I won't be that long. I just wanted to say I wish I had not spent so much time away from her in the last, I guess, 20 years. And so I just wanted to say I love you, Serena, and that I hope that you find the peace and that you're holding Isis right now in your arms. That's all. That's all. I'm a little bit clamped. That's why I didn't mind going first.
Okay, so Vince, I did unmute you, so you can go ahead and read the poem. I think that'd be lovely.
Vince is still muted.
Okay. I guess that isn't really happening. Okay, so Vince is going to read some poetry by Serena, but I think if anyone else would like to speak, that would be lovely. I could probably say a lot about Serena. We were friends for a really, really long time. And Vince, you're going to have to unmute yourself because I sent you something saying that I wanted to unmute you. And I just asked you to unmute. Do you see me asking you to unmute? Yeah. Okay. What's going on here?
Got it.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, this is paper wings. We now have passed the quick fluttering of paper wings. My angel of discord falls from darkness into greater darkness. The paper has yellowed and drifted away. Her skeletal wings have caught the fire. They wetted like flesh at this vision clock and folly, far from the black and silver skies. She comes into my heart like fox of lightning. I bleed the fluid of immaturity. It is poison mixed with rapture. It is fate wrapped in fire. These are my baptismal flames. I have found my light and she is priceless. I have seen my life. It is in pieces. Okay. Did I go through?
Yes.
Yeah, you went through. That's lovely. And also, Amanda, I unmuted you. So go ahead and speak now.
Okay. Yeah. I think mostly just speak about our connection and the memories. And, they're even just here, even just today, there's just so many, kind of both blessed and and cursed to be surrounded by her presence just through all these things she shared with us. I mean, this kitty is from her shrine that is with us today. And of course, my own kitties that she got to meet, and they're joining us in the way that cats do best, just sleeping. And I mean, through painting, tarot cards, and so it's just great to have all these, memories of her through all of her creativity. But she's always with me. But she's always, I always remember what has happened this month, and we got very close over the last last couple of years, especially the last 3 years, and in some ways even just the last 1 year. Just, real highs, like when we played together. When we played together at Chapel of the Chimes in Oakland last year, was the happiest I have ever seen her. She was just radiant. She was in her prime. She was the diva cat that I think many of us have seen and remembered. And then, I was honored to be able to share one of the toughest times with her too, when we helped Selket pass. Yeah, and even during this time of social distancing, in some ways, she and I grew just closer together, both practically, helping her with her needs and talking all the time and giving each other advice and encouragement. And it's really tough being without her now. I mean, I know we've talked in the rituals and everything about her being with us in different ways, but in the way that I tend to understand, which is this world around us, she's not here, and I miss her very deeply. And I think I will end it with the poem that I featured in my tribute video, perhaps a little bit longer of it, but just the one page, I promise. This is: with the dish towels folded and ready, if feelings were forged from formica, if emotions were fiber woven, would we be useful to ourselves? Unbind your arms. Enter the path of no more needing. Quit your spicing and weighing and pointless preparing. Push away from that damn countertop. Apply the salve to your taxed hands. Emerge, arise, ascend. And in the way that I think she would really like me to say, thank you for all of you letting me be part of this with you today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, James. Yeah, you're up.
Hello. I've been spending some time with some of her writing. We wanted to work on a collaborative part. I asked her once, what role do you want me to write? And she said, a woman who turns into a cat. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And then I read this a while ago and I hadn't been through it a bit, but been spending more time with this. But I'm going to read a line and then I'll do my tribute piece to her. This was always one of my isms, if you will. I harumphed, of course. What else could I have done but harumph? It's from Ghosts in the Bones, Ghosts and Bones. And yeah, just been reconnecting with a lot of her music and such like that. That's helped me grieve, and writing a screenplay helped. And so I'll just read my tribute piece that I posted. It'll be quick. The meanest words I ever heard Serena Toxicat ever mention was from the scripted character that I once wrote in our first and only sadly filmed together, Dropping Like Flies. I would like to thank our mutual friend Nicole H. Henares for providing that opening line. When I last saw Serena in 2018, it was around her 50th birthday celebration. It was a wonderful time to be around her. I will always remember it fondly. We did a couple screenings of the event for the movie, took photos, fed stray cats by the Albany bulb. The character she was in the film was originally known as Queen of the Scene. If there was ever a contender for such a role, it would have been Serena. She most likely did not care about superficial titles in the club scene, and she was truly a unique, original artist, a loving cat mother and kind human being. The loss of Serena is a double-barrel blow of shock and sadness to those who knew her well and realized what a warm ray of light warm ray of light in a sometimes cold and dark world. Although Serena had struggles, she was able to mask her pain by or channel healing vibes through many of her facets of art. She embodied a genuineness that many of us could learn from, and her blunt honesty that intimidated shallow and weaker minds. She was kind-hearted, empathic, compassionate, and an endless source of inspiration for those who inspired her and appreciated her. Even as a writer, I struggle to grasp with the words as to why this lovely, beautiful cat lady is no longer with us. It's not only wrong, but perhaps could have been avoided if more people looked out for their loved ones. If I had any regrets, it would be not letting her know how much I loved her writing. Nonetheless, I supported her as a dear friend should. Serena inspired me artistically and made me want to be a kinder and gentler person. We could all honor her memory and spirit by spending time with the gifts that she gave the world. There's a whole lot more than we realize, and we must take time to look for those gifts. They do not possess any monetary value so much as provide currency of compassion and emotional support towards others, similar to what she did for so many of us. It goes without saying that we will all miss Serena in volumes. I will miss a lot of things about her, but the biggest loss is never again hearing her soothing and cheerful voice. For several months before the quarantine era began, she, along with one of our mutual friends, Sumiku, were going to record some music with my band. Unfortunately, Serena will not be a part of that experience, but I will always honor her and I will be able to honor her life and memory in other ways. What we can all do to honor her memory is spread more warmth to the people we cherish the most. Also, varying on circumstance, we can try to make peace with those we may like the least. And with the absence of Serena and rare individuals like her, we can learn from their positive qualities and with hopes to make the world a brighter and warmer place. We love you, Serena. May we meet again somewhere. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, yeah, this is Sumiko. So thank you. That was lovely, James. I would like to say some things at this juncture because I think they're really important. I know none of us know what Serena actually died of right now, and we're waiting on a coroner's report for that. And um, I understand what James is saying about maybe people should care more for their loved ones, but a lot of us are dealing with survivor's guilt right now, including me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel really upset that Serena died during shelter in place. And, before shelter in place, I was giving her rides places and seeing her regularly, and I don't know what happened. So, of course, it's keeping me up at night wondering if it wasn't for shelter in place, would it have been something that, could have been avoided? And there's a lot of negotiating that pretty much all of us are doing. Of course, you know, people that are close to Serena are upset, and even people that didn't know her as well are upset because Serena was very well loved. She was really, really, really kind to people in her life, and she was a really sweet person. But I just want to ask people to try to be a little bit easy on themselves and a little bit easy on everyone else who may be actually really dealing with a lot of survivor's guilt because of the not really knowing what happened, and because shelter in place made it so that maybe we weren't seeing each other in person the way we really wanted to. So that's really difficult for everybody, who's surviving. And I might not be saying this as well as humanly possible. But if I wasn't Serena's best friend, Serena most certainly was my best friend. So literally my best friend just died. And I'm doing my best to honor her life. But I am quite upset. I'm going to see if I can get some of her YouTube videos to play with the screen thingy, where you can actually, um, so that we can hear her voice and hear, you know, what she had to say and stuff. So if I mess it up, I apologize. I'm really nervous. If anyone else has anything to say, just let us know, and it would be really happy to hear what people have to say. And let me see if I can figure out how to get this thing to work so that I can.
I don't know if the request to speak, but 148480 says, I saw Serena a few weeks before her passing and can contribute.
Okay. 148 460. Would you like to speak?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay, great. This is Lish Lash. I know it shows up as an anonymous number, but I was a close friend of Serena's for a couple of decades, and I shot a number of video recordings of her at ISIS Oasis and at events. I'm going to be posting those soon. I also was fortunate enough to get access to her apartment after it was cleaned up, but before her Temple of Bath murals were painted over. And so I posted photos of those on the on Serena's Facebook memorial page. I'll post the URL to that for anyone who hasn't seen that. Those were beautiful. Also earlier in 2014, I did a photo shoot with Serena, some other friends at the Piedmont Cemetery that turned out beautifully. I posted those photos. So I'll be posting from time to time, and of course everyone is welcome to all the artifacts that I collected over the years. I also, a few weeks before her passing, I was fortunate enough to take her to a treatment in San Francisco State. And so was able to spend the afternoon with her. And, you know, I want to assure everyone that Serena was doing well at the time. She was in good spirits. She was clearly suffering from the isolation of lockdown, and it's been spending most of her time in her own apartment, which was safe and sound, but of course lonely. And since the passing of Selkat, she really had no one but her friends to rely on. And we talked about a number of things, but none of them gave me any concerns for her health or well-being at the time. And at this point, I discussed a bit of, of course, the coroner, we have to wait for the coroner's report. I discussed that a bit with her landlord, but there's really no indication at this point as to what the cause of death was. And so I would encourage other folks not to jump to conclusions, because when I last saw her, she was healthy, and believe me, I've seen her in states where there was real cause for concern. And so I'm, I have, I mean, the memories that I have of her, the things we did, the things she did, they're precious, and nothing that I saw in the last month casts a cloud over those memories. And I'm glad that we can all be here to share our memories of her life.
Love from losing my soul in the show. Rather rest forever in your wings. It's colder than a witch's tit, and not the ones we love. We better know it. I'd rather stay forever and stay away from false love. Losing my soul in the show. Rather rest forever in your wings. It's colder than a witch's tit. I'd rather stay here.
The person that says Denise's phone on them is who is up to speak now, because I just been asked to unmute. Yeah. Yeah.
That's me?
Yeah, that's you.
I'm on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Hi, everybody. The last person I thought would leave our world was Serena. Really caught me off guard. But one of the things I wanted to say about her is she really did give me a sense of that anything's possible. Dreams that you might have, creativity, just everything, and then that she really did have a light where she was at. She would bring light to the situation. It was very, would talk to anybody and be very open and honest, and it really made people feel like they could know her no matter who they were. And but going back, I go back a long ways with her. 96, I think, around there. And I knew when she was living with Annette on Webster Street. Then I knew when she was living on Oak Street. And I moved her ultimately to where I lived in Berkeley. She rented a room down the hall from where I lived because she ran out of options. So she lived there for a while. And then she moved with Mr. Cat and moved her there. And she moved to I helped her move across the way. God, there's so many places that she lived. I'm not going to get to go down the list, but it was really fun working with her, and her whenever she would do a poetry reading with everybody, and specifically when she was doing it too, she would make like a sphere of just like a kind of feminine enlightenment, like you were allowed to be in the sphere of this really kind, fun, enlightened, and silly world that she would present, you know, with when she would do poetry, and she was a very good actress too, and creative artistically. Gosh, I just thought we would see her again in the future, but I really want to. I think we really have to celebrate the time we have we've had with her, because that's that was really amazing. All the different situations, you know, in that we were in together, like in the Gothic scene and the fashion scene and the poetry scene, the art scene. It's just really wonderful spirit, and that's all I want to say right now, because I just don't know. I'm just not that articulate right now, I guess. But there's so much more. But thanks a lot, everybody. And we won't forget her. I'm gonna wear this life symbol for a long time in her memory. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, so the next person that's up, it says Matcha Nightmare on there, and yeah, hopefully people's faces are showing up when they're talking. Yeah.
Hi, it's Macha. I didn't know Serena as long as many of you, but I met her and we bonded over adoption. She being adopted, me being a birth mother, and we just had an instant spot. And I really feel that my life was enriched by having her in it. So I want to read a little something, if I may. The doors of perception open. What was hidden has been revealed. It is myself I see, and 1,000 colors swirling in liquid light. I am where the sun sets below the mountains. I am in this body. I am that star rising above clouds hung by a thread from its ocean moon. Hail myself traversing eternity, walking among gods, a shuttle flying across the loom through the threads of time. This is all one place, one cloth. A man's life endures. On earth, flowers grow, snakes crawl, and wisdom lies in the palm of the hand. All of that will be, all that is will be, hawks and sparrows, the 1,000 lives within. I have come home. I have entered humanhood, bound to rocks and plants, men and women, rivers and skies. I shall be with you in this and other worlds. When the cat arches in the doorway, think of me. I have sometimes been like that. When two men greet each other in the street, I am there speaking to you. When you look up, know I am there, sun and moon pouring my love around you. All these things am I, portents, images, signs. Though apart, I am part of you, one of the million things in the universe. I'm the universe too. You think I disguise myself as rivers and trees simply to confuse you? Whatever I am, woman, cat, or lotus, the same God breathes in everybody. You and I together are a single creation. Neither death nor spite nor fear nor ignorance stops my love for you. May we come and go in and out of heaven through the gates of starlight. As the houses of earth fill with dancing and song, so filled are the houses of heaven. I come in truth, I sail along river and row back again. It is joy to breathe under the stars. I am the sojourner, destined to walk 1,000 years until I arrive at myself. Thank you.
So hopefully everyone could hear as well as see that lovely music, which was Serena at the Chapel of Chimes singing Malpas in French, which was referred to earlier. I would love it if people would speak and share the remembrances and things like that of Serena. And I do have YouTube videos and stuff of Serena that I can play as well. Um, okay. Selena would like to say a few words. I'm gonna go ahead and have Selena speak. Celine, I'm so sorry, I probably mispronounced that too. Okay. You should have a request to unmute, Celine. Okay. So the way this works is I have to ask you guys to unmute yourself, and then you have to unmute yourself and speak. Um, so yeah. So that hasn't happened yet. Not that long ago, my mother passed away, which was January of last year, and Serena was at my mother's funeral. She's close to my family, and she sang the Rose, which is another song that's on here, which I'll probably play later. And she did rites that are for Boss. Even though my mom was a Baptist, she was a member of the Church of Boss as well, so that happened. But Serena told me that Jesus is for everybody, so I'm gonna go ahead and read some Christian stuff. So I hope no one's feeling offended by that. But this is actually the Serenity Prayer, which I think is very appropriate right now, which a lot of people that are in recovery know about. And it says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I think that brings me a lot of comfort because I don't know what happened to Serena, and I have to try to be serene. Okay, I see you there, Celine. Can you speak?
Yes. So I introduce myself. I'm French. I'm Celine, and it's here. It's very late here. I think it's 12 a.m. So I know Serena for 30 years. I met her when she was 22, and now she passed away at 52. And so I'm not going to say a lot of things, but I have crossed her life, her different lives, because she had a different life, but I remain along this life. So she used to call me Celix, like Celix, or Felix, like Felix the cat. And me, I used to call her Rove, because Rovetti, her last name, Rove. And that's it. And another thing, she was always in creation. And her last creation is a film, which is in competition to the Lift Off Festival in London. I didn't know this festival before, but thanks to her, I know this festival. So her film is in competition, and the result will be in November. That's it. And thank you for this ceremony and this gathering overseas.
Thank you very much for speaking. Let's see, I probably have to do that. Thank you very much for speaking. And also I wanted to thank Rachel for doing this on Zoom professional, so that we can have a recording to commemorate this this memorial and this remembrance for our dear friend Serena Toxicat. Is there anyone else that would like to share any words about Serena? And who's willing to speak? Raven. Thank you, Raven. Okay, so Raven is going to speak now.
Am I
And you're not
on?
muted. Good.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to share my gratitude for all that is happening right now to honor Serena. I didn't get to know her as well as many of you. I have been a part of the Fellowship of Isis and Isis Oasis and got to see her live and read some of her writings. And the one thing that I just want to say is that I've just always been really inspired by her, more from a distance, by just how she completely showed up with herself and with no matter what she was struggling with. I mean, as much as she could show up, I'm imagining. But yeah, that was such a strong thing for me to see, and especially how she was loved. How much love and connection and all of that came around her and to her, despite what she was struggling with, you know? There's just such a beautiful gift in seeing that for me and hopefully other people, and that you can share all of the things that you're going through and truly just show up in the world also with just her spice. She was amazing, beautiful person. So just that whole just broad spectrum of who she was, and just how she let people in and was loved. So anyway, like I said, I don't have as many personal experiences as anyone else that's shared already, but I just wanted to share that, how from a distance she really inspired me to share more of who I am, even if I'm, it's my struggles or whatever, and trust that there will be love there and community and connection. So in that, she's been a really powerful priestess for me.
What you think about her remarkable parts?
Okay, so Randy is the next person that's going to be speaking.
I'm gonna. I keep thinking like this is a big mistake. I'm having a really, really hard time. Oh God, I can't see anybody if I don't have my glasses on. I'm having a really hard time accepting that she's really gone, that this actually happened. I ran into her in a club in San Francisco a few months before shelter in place was instituted. And I guess you just don't think that when you see someone that it's going to be for the last time. I was trying to remember what year we actually met. We met through a mutual friend, riding to PantheaCon. Serena called our mutual friend Pixie, and some of you may have known her. So that's actually how we first met. And my own magical practice is very different. I'm an Anderson Fairy initiate, but we had this connection. We connected over the love of cats. I grew up with cats. I've lived with cats my whole life until recently. My Jezebel is no longer walks the earth. And I hope that she was reunited with her cell cat wherever she is now. As other people have said, she was one of the most kind-hearted, just beautiful beings that I have met in my lifetime. And oh my goodness, as I said, I'm sorry, I'm like kind of all over the place. It's just so surreal to me that we're having this gathering for her. And she's like not, like, oh, goddess. Oh, man. Anyway, thank you for letting me speak.
Hey everybody, Capson TV, and we are paying tribute to our artistic collaborator and dear friend Serena Toxicat. Serena was truly a one-of-a-kind person, an author, a singer and composer, a painter, a designer of clothes, a model, the list goes on and on. We shared a great many interests, especially music, art, and cats. Indeed, we first connected in 2009 when I saw her perform her musical project Protea and reviewed her on the Cat Synth blog. Little did I know that 10 years later we would be performing together in our own group, Manul Override. One moment she would be praising the cat goddess Bast, and the next recalling the delightful antics of our own felines.
They like to knock your stuff around. Give it a good old swipe of the paw and knock it right down. That's what I'm yelling about. So what? That's what I'm yelling about. Me, 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 me.
Serena also channeled her creativity into visual art, again blending the feline with the esoteric in her painting, her decks of tarot cards, and her fashion designs. A sought-after professional model who brought a natural beauty, elegance, and playfulness to her images, she turned her attention to her own clothing designs in recent years. I had the privilege to model her clothing in multiple shows, and we would often share our mutual love of fashion in our conversations and adventures together. She was also a writer, having published several books of fiction, poetry, and more. Serena explored very personal topics. She was very candid about her struggles with eating disorders in her book, Ghost in the Bones. Her books of poetry, Paper Wings, Consciousness is a Catfish, explored the metaphysical and allowed her to bare her soul on the page. Beyond her published writing, she also had a way with words, often punctuating her conversation with feline phrases like thank mew, cool manule, and oh cat that have worked their way into my own lexicon. Serena was an incredibly open and kind person, accepting of people of all shapes, sizes, outlooks, and orientations. A truly beautiful person inside and out. Our friendship deepened in the past few years, and we shared our joys and challenges with one another. She will be greatly missed, not only by me, but the countless other lives she touched and made better by her presence. We leave you with an excerpt from her poem Formica from her book Consciousness is a Catfish. Unbind your arms. Enter the path of no more needing. Quit your spicing and weighing and pointless preparing. Push away from that damn countertop. Apply this salve to your taxed hands. Emerge. Arise. Ascend.
Thank you for that. Amanda put together that reel there. I think that I see. Yeah. So so anyway, thank you for putting that together. Is there anyone else who would like to speak about Serena right now? I will look for some more videos to play. We have some of her reading as well. Yeah. Thank you everybody who is here today. I do people feel like they you know, what should we do now? Because it seems like a lot of you guys just are chatting and maybe feel nervous about speaking and stuff like that, which I can understand. It's an upsetting situation for everybody. Okay, play a song. So I will go ahead and find a song to play on YouTube.
Rachel,
yeah, Rachel, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Let me put you up. Okay, Rachel, you should unmute.
Hi. So Serena was pretty much like an older sister to me. We went through a lot of the same struggles, and I looked up to her in a way where I knew she was going to prosper. And that's what brought me so close to her. Mutual friends from all walks of life, having this similar knowledge. I have so many stories to tell, from concerts we were kicked out of, to awkward Burning Man experiences, to just performing live with her. I am really happy to know that she had such a close network of wonderful people. It doesn't surprise me, and seeing it now is truly a beautiful thing. I had a record label. It was an all-female industrial label called Machine Cunt with a K, and me and Serena, we used to chant machine cunt, you know, like the cunt was magical. That would get people to buy the music, the t-shirts and books. It was our magical chant. And the first song of hers that I released was called Little Drummer Boy. It's a really powerful cover of the song Little Drummer Boy. I sent it to you in a private message. If you could play that song, that would be amazing.
Okay, yeah, so if you could tell Darcy the song, then I can cue the song up and play it.
It's
so
Little Drummer Boy by Protea.
Okay, I will pull that up. Okay, right now I'm gonna play Cat Town, and then I'll look for that after I play the Cat Town. Okay, whoops, what did I do? Okay.
Hey everybody, Cats on TV, and we are at Cat Town in Oakland.
Thanks for watching. Check out more at www.catsynth.com. And please subscribe to CatSynth TV.
You are watching.
Oh, wow. Was I talking that whole time? No, you couldn't hear me, could you? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try to find that. I don't know that that's on YouTube. It might actually be someplace else on the internet, so it might take me a minute. It is, yeah, I'm on right now, right? Yeah. Was I on when the video was on or not really? Okay, cool. So that's cool. Okay. Thanks for dropping the link. I appreciate it. Okay, I see it. Good. Okay. Here. Oops. Here we go. So that was Serena. She was incredibly talented. We saw some of her artwork earlier, and some of her poetry and some of her performances. And there are also videos of her acting and videos of her reading books on here. Lorelai is going to speak now.
I am entirely unsure of how this works, and I know I don't have video. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. This is like the first time I've ever been able to get Zoom to work. So thanks, Serena. I don't have a lot to say because I don't know. The whole thing made me completely withdraw. And I am feeling extra guilt for not reaching out to other people that I know are having a hard time, but it's just really hit me in a weird way. And I think probably, the isolation is adding to that. And then I've just kind of dug deeper into myself. And the irony of that is that one of the things about Serena is that she just invited connection. And if we could learn anything, it would be to reach out, because I was always astonished by how she was able to connect with almost anybody she met. I mean, she had so many things that she was involved with. It was easy for us to connect because, we both had a background with music and art and the similar religion and cats. And, there was always just so much to connect with, but she was just so open. And that was such a gift. So it's been a while since I hung out with Serena, and I had kind of a strange thing happen. I don't really remember ever, or at least not having any dream where Serena was really prominent, but I guess it was a night or two before, I guess it was the night before I heard that she had passed. So I don't know how it relates to when she actually died. But I had this really wonderful dream with Serena, and we were just hanging out. And in the dream, I was telling her, I'm going to write a poem for you. I'm just going to write a silly little poem for you. And when I woke up, I wrote it down. And it was kind of an interesting thing. So it's not a great poem, but I thought I'd share it with you. I am the night, yet for all my fangs and claws, my razors sharp, my glowing eye, the midnight sun, padded footsteps laced with death, there is a softness here, an offered shelter of friendly quiet, beyond the fear, the black curtain that covers the unknown is sometimes a nest. My heart is bright, my mind is deep, and easily distracted by shiny things that could be prey. But now I sleep in the arms of Bast. Now I rest. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. And, I think we're all going to be missing her for a long time. But we're also going to carry a lot of her spirit and joy with us. So that's a good thing. Anyway, I can't really talk anymore. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you. That was really beautiful. I really appreciate you sharing that. She would have loved that. I'm sure that wherever she is now, with Bastet, yeah, she does love it. She would love it. We did a lot of things together as writers. We did a lot of readings together. I actually have known Serena for half of my life, so it's really hard for me to process her being gone. She was 1 month older than me, and I met her just before. I met her when we were both 25. So she sang in my band, Stage Fright, with me and my mother and my brother Scott. My nieces really loved her. They, she was like one of, how some people have cousins, but they're not really related. She was one of those cousins. And, you know, um, over the last 10 years, we did a lot of book readings together. So we were like constantly at different types of events as authors. We did music together too. We just did something in February at Club Vanna Black. But I have a video here, which is of her reading at the Dark Entry, which is, we did a bunch of those readings between 2012 until when the Dark Entry closed last year. So I'm probably not gonna play the whole thing because it's like 20 minutes, but I'm gonna play a bit of that so you can, see her lovely face and hear her lovely voice reading. Okay, hang on a second. As soon as I figure out how to do it. And if anyone else wants to speak, yeah, please let us know. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go.
And does not know what to do. Its population bears no one shape or color, cannot be sexed. I am a feature of this forest, withered, knobby. Some say I'm a dying reed, and others claim it's my kind that is going extinct. Not because the disease that gnaws our bark, sap, and soul is obsolescent. We are dwindling in numbers because it is killing us. It kills us. I am a complex willow of a woman. There are many things that I do and have, multiple interests, passions, loves, and little plagues. They are branches extending from the core that I view as I. When I try and try and try to fade out and become static, when even the skin of my face goes gray, writing my story feels somehow opulent. When I am utterly confounded that my heart is still beating, that my kidneys, liver, brain, and muscles still function in spite of my every attempt to minimize and shed them, saying, "Here I am," can seem like an obscene riddle. I have the wardrobe of an Aquarian alien goth, and I work it, even now in my mid-40s. I rock makeup, my hair is dyed in peacock colors, my skin floridly illustrated in ink. I sing in my own band and record vocals for others. I act, model, read my books out loud and sign them as if my very name is something special. I have danced in burlesque shows in varying phases of undress. And wait, there's more, much more. Appear, dress, pose, rest, get ready, redo. I built this life and choose it every moment, even when I forget I do so. I should not expect to disappear as if it makes sense. And yet I must be a paradox, a we, or at least a weak I, egosyntonic with my sickness. I want the attention, but only if it's the kind that suits my fancy. Can I have it both ways? I can get hostile when gawked at and want to be left alone. After all, adorning myself to my liking does not make me an ornament or public property to be weighed in on, torn down, or molded. I crave being heard, recognized, and gotten. You can't always get what you want. As I type this, I starve. I just drank a clay mixture. It might cleanse me of toxins and parasites like it promises, or not. I just want to ditch the substance, my substance. My body remembers itself emaciated. Restriction of food hurts my joints, head, and muscles, and I don't like how my me-lessness aged my face when I was at my worst, but I seek emaciation's confounding comfort. Eating is only part of the problem. We anorectics don't just deprive ourselves of nutrients, we starve ourselves of relationships. We'd just as soon be alone with our disease. I have distanced people whom I had the audacity to let in by disappearing, sometimes to different countries, or by acting out to push them away. Then it was their idea to leave. The onus was on them, and I could blame this or that shortcoming or screw-up of theirs. When one method didn't do the trick, I'd try another. Defense and offense can both be offensive. It's not love that stinks, but the imperfect human channel through which it flows. Now that I am telling you this, I feel shitty and hope the partners of my younger days have forgiven me, but I would understand if they can't. I tried to save them from me and save myself from love. What did we deserve? I shed some abusers, but failed to cultivate real partnership with good people. A good person would try to put a stop to this, and that's everything my disease doesn't want. I wait to die impatiently. I couldn't be this forthcoming if I expected to outlive this thing. The natural struggle to survive feels like a revolutionary act. Do I have it in me? I want not to be reincarnated and fear I will be anyway. I adore my cat, and there are many people I love, but I hate being soldered to this earth. I am alarmed by the frequency of the word I already appearing on these pages. This is a letter to you, which I am writing so you don't become me. I live in a place where, within the greater climate of the thin ideal, curvy is the desired state of femaleness. I don't care, and neither does my anorexia, which I've dubbed the beast. I could be living on a ring of Saturn. I certainly feel spacey enough. While I now teeter on the line that divides desirably thin and freakishly skinny, not long ago, I was simply scary. Hauntingly beautiful, but scarier than the scariest skinny models, Dr. Austerlitz, my psychiatrist, declared. I didn't believe him. The beautiful part was objectively untrue. Health is beauty. Doesn't he know? People whispered and stared. Jaws dropped. Funny picturing other people's bones for once. Random schmucks have conspired and giggled and said things they weren't raised to say. I'm skinny, so that's still an acceptable offense, because the thin have unearned advantages in our society and there is a backlash. I was terrifying. Thin girl envy had left the bare bones building that was standing in for my body. My companion, Anatoly, lamented that I sacrificed my sexual attractiveness to this disease. I did. On purpose, some would speculate. I don't know, but either way, I threw it in a pit and tried to flush it out with pills and powders. My hip bones turned me into a human poultry carcass.
Okay, so Rain has something to say or add about that. Hang on a second. Yeah, thank you, Rain.
I needed. You know. You ready, or should I?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're up on there, Rain. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready for you.
Okay. So that book, Ghost and Bones, was very difficult for her to write. It is very it is an autobiographical account of her struggle with anorexia. And I was there with her throughout that entire time. I've known her for, over 20 years. And she's one of the first people that I met in the goth scene in San Francisco when I moved there back in 95. And I think I met her in 96. And she was just an amazing person, amazing friend, amazing individual, artist, creator. And when she began to struggle again with this eating disorder, it was very apparent to me how easy it would have been to lose her at that time. And she was very secretive about her eating disorder, but she wrote that book to break that silence. And she wrote that book because she believed it could save people. And even though myself and her then boyfriend, David, were the ones that got her into treatment and got her the help that she needed, and it was extremely difficult because as an adult you have to sign yourself in for that help. You don't have a parent that just takes away your rights and does it for you. So we had to basically get her 24/7 care, and there was a part of her that was so strong, the tiniest little part of her deep inside her heart that was still the Serena that we all knew and loved, and she was fighting for her life. She was a fighter. And as much as suicide would enter into her thoughts and her feelings throughout that period and various intervals before that and after that, she fought to live. She was a fighter. And she created in order to live. That was how she fought. So this book was sort of an homage to that fight for her life that she nearly lost. She was 85 pounds at 5'8" when she went in finally for treatment. And that book, as hard as it was for her to write, was beautiful. It was a bearing of her soul to help other souls. I just wanted to bring attention to that. She didn't like to talk about her eating disorder before that. In fact, she would swear us to secrecy and to privacy for her autonomy. And those are all eating disorder terms. So I just want to say, if you've ever struggled with an eating disorder, or if you are currently struggling with one, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to fight, and it's okay to want the help in those moments when you do want it. Reach out and ask someone. It may only last 10 to 15 minutes, but in those 10 or 15 minutes, somebody can get you the help that you need immediately. That's what we did for her. So it's incredibly hard to see her passing as a surprise. It's hard to digest, but I'm comforted knowing that she was a fighter. And to echo what someone said earlier about not to speculate on the reasons why she passed. I really believe in my heart of hearts that this was simply natural. A terrible tragedy, of course, but I don't believe she took her own life. I don't believe that this was her eating disorder. I believe it was just simple, something in her body just gave out. And I love her. I will always love her. I think all of you will always love her. And I'm glad that she has these pieces of her out there that we can remember her by in her books and her music. All of you. All I really want to say.
Thank you very much, Rain. I appreciate you speaking about that book. Yeah, that was really actually very difficult for her, but you know, after she passed, I got a lot of messages from people who she helped, who were in the eating disorder community. Just by the act of going out there and speaking to people, she helped a lot of people. She was always really brave and really forthcoming and really present in other people's lives. And a lot of people relied on her. And, you know, now that she's gone, I think that, you know, we're gonna have to rely on each other and be there for each other during this difficult time. And you know, into the future, I didn't expect this to happen. I thought that me and her and Wayne and the rest of our writer circle would be doing book readings into our 70s or 80s at least, like you know, other Bay Area writers, because we go to these places and there were always these ladies that were like 80 some years old who would treat us like we were little children, and some of them were parents and friends of ours, and they treated us like we were little kids. And I just figured that we were going to be like those older ladies on the art scene and the literary art scene, just doing, you know, the art thing forever and ever, and then it would never really come to an end. So it's hard to even process the idea that she's not, you know, here. I'm still, you know, expecting her to call or expecting to hear from her. You know, I'm still really, it's been a while, but I'm still really in a state of shock about the whole thing. But you know, she was an amazing person. Okay, Jeffrey is going to speak. And also, anyone who wants to speak, please let me know. And if there's anything you want to request that we could play of hers, let me know. Jeffrey, you're on.
Hi. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Okay. It's really weird, as it is for all of us, I know, like imagining that she's not here on this plane with us anymore. I'm a little at a loss for words because I never thought I would have to come to something like this and speak about her in this context. But I just would like to talk about kind of friendship I had with her. I met her in the late 90s at the Wall Berlin Cafe in Berkeley. I know some of you remember. And we had very different personalities, but in a lot of ways we were very kindred spirits. Just kind of shared this desire to both live in our own worlds and in our imaginations, and still find a way to remain grounded in the everyday. And I was always really fascinated by how well she managed to do that, because she was really so together with things in spite of all, you know, the difficulties she had. and always kind of inspired by how she could be so completely herself and still remain like so grounded and like do all of these things and get books published and get CDs recorded and put out there, and all of her spiritual activities and being at Isis Oasis. And I feel kind of privileged in the kind of like connection that we have, because I got to be her house cleaner for quite a while. I would go over to her place regularly, like every month or two, and just like clean her whole apartment for her. I would help her go through her clothes in her closet and help her decide what things to get rid of and what things to keep, and help her manage her stuff. And I feel really honored that she like trusted me, you know, enough to let me have that part in her life. And I feel like I got so much back from her without her even really having to try or to give anything. She just, like, giving and inspiring was just kind of the way she was in the world. And I just kind of absorbed it without even, I don't know, weird to say, but without even thinking about it in a sense. Until I left California about 7 years ago. And we managed to maintain some contact through Facebook in all those years. But I hadn't really talked to her in a couple of years, although I knew that Stockett had died. And yeah, and I knew that was really hard on her. And I'm glad that you all, at least, were, you know, such a part of her life and helping her through everything the way you all did. And I only know a few of you from having actually met you, but I feel like I've kind of met many of you because she used to talk about her friendships with you all to me all the time. And so it's nice, like, seeing your faces in here, because I know, like, how important she was to her and how much she loved and cared about you all. And, yeah, and I just really miss her. And, you know, her, even now that she's gone, like, she's still kind of inspiring me to try to, you know, take stock of I don't know, just how she was in the world and the way it impacted my life, and try to do better, you know, and to continue to almost like carry on her legacy of her kindness and her acceptance. And, yeah, and it's like to say, she was a really good friend. And, I miss that. Well, thank you.
I've got it. He's dead. I'll make it look like a mugging gone bad. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
It flickers for a moment, then dies. Give up hours of cruise getting higher to the waves, wading in, but into the waves, to the waves.
Hi everyone. My name is Sissy, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Sissy.
Hi. For me, I know
Actually, hold on a second, Sissy. I'm sorry. I had this whole introduction I wanted to do tonight. We're here because of one thing. Does anyone know what that thing is?
The court order.
Smart. Sorry, yes. Wondrous, isn't it? Take you, for instance, Angela. Let's get specific.
Oh, God.
Let's go deep.
Let's not.
You can open up here. Investigators don't have any motives to announce at this time.
Don't be afraid. Powerful is your name, Sekhmet who listens, maintaining me. Sekhmet, goddess of the plague. Sekhmet, warlike goddess. Sekhmet, queen of the Gastes ground. Sekhmet, eternal is your name. Oh, come to me, Sekhmet, destroying of rebellion. Sekhmet, brilliant eye of Ra. Sekhmet.
Okay, so Jason is going to speak next. And that was in acting real. So that was Serena acting. And it is some new people came in. If anyone wants to speak, let me know. Jason's not quite ready, so if someone else wants to speak, let us know. And you know what? I scheduled this for 3 hours, and it's been like 1 hour, and I'm thinking maybe I was overly ambitious, and that people don't need 3 hours to speak. It's been 2 hours. Oh, it's 4. Thanks. So we got an hour. Okay. In that case, I guess 3 hours makes sense. Sorry. I'm gonna try to find another video to play then. She has a lot of videos. Choking. You some interview snippets.
Well, Black Widows is something that my coworker Salem started. We were all working at Chez Paris. It's a strip and lap dance club that was not doing very well. It wasn't being promoted. It was in a weird location. It used to be a gay club, so you know, guys would be showing up and thinking, okay, this is different, and you know, the club was just not going anywhere, making any money, and so we put this Black Widows night together every Sunday night at Chez Paris, and we drew this huge crowd, and Sunday night was the biggest night of the week because we were the only people promoting the place. So when the club closed, we decided we wanted to keep going as a troupe and eventually become a co-op, like I was part of at the Lusty Lady. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a lot of things, but a doctor and a shrink were two of them, and then I also wanted to be a stripper. And that actually happened. And you know, I wanted to go into acting, which is something that I was doing a lot of when I lived in Paris. I lived there for about 8 years, and I wasn't in the sex industry. I did a little bit of nude modeling, but I was doing a lot of acting over there. I speak French, and I wrote some plays in French and won some awards for writing and acting, and got into singing a little bit too. And I did modeling, but this was pre-tattoos and piercings and all that. So, you know, I was a little bit less decorated, and I could get away with more just doing regular mainstream modeling.
You coming back? It just ended. It just ended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so is Jason ready to speak or okay. So yeah, people are still coming in. If anyone wants to speak, let me know. Otherwise, and also let me know if Jason is ready to speak, not quite yet. Okay, so I am gonna look for some other videos of Serena to play. No, that's okay. There's no need to apologize. Serena, there are lots and lots and lots of videos of Serena. This is another version of Mal Boss, which is vocals only. So let's check that out. Yeah.
Seek fertility in body and creativity. Call upon you, Bastet. Women adore you. The protection you bring in the phases of our lives. You are a queen among cats, sleek and fair of mind and heart, majestic and gracious, feline deity boast. Boast. dress you are both comfort and courage. You are goddess, you are the greatest of all cats. You are the greatest of all cats. Malbast, Malbast, Malbast.
Hey everybody, Catsynth TV here, and we are at Expression Gallery in Berkeley for Cat and Mouse Fashion Show. Meow.
Welcome to Toxicat Fashions, and that's spelled Faxionz. This is basically Toxicat. This represents Toxicat. It's got the original psychedelic, wild cat and crossbones. This dress features a litter of kitties, including the one star, which is the black kitty, and some flowers. Some of this work was actually done in the hospital when I was there for quite some time. So maybe I won't get into that quite yet. So Tanya is wearing, this is one of my favorite pieces ever because I have an obsession with this kind of cat. It's called a Manul. Other people call it a Pallas's cat, and that's Pallas. And it's a wild Mongolian kitty, and this cat has an affinity for human scalps. So if you're, yes, they will scratch your scalp off if you're not careful. So they deserve the utmost respect. And this wrap, this is in a cotton. If you want one, let me know. I can have it made in a jersey or whatever. I send them out. So whatever you want. And this is the first picture that I took when I got to Egypt. So I went on a trip to Egypt and I got to the guest house. I looked out the window. The pyramids were right there. So I got a picture of the plateau, and it came out with this really nice yellow around it. Sumiko Salson designed this. It's her Bascavelli character. She drew all of these comic book designs of her character. Like to turn around. And without her proposing this fashion show to me, I wouldn't be here doing it. It was actually her idea to have a body positive show that included plus size pieces, and then mine are smaller size and there are sizes in between. So this is to kick off Pride weekend for those who don't want to go all the way into the city, I guess. Sam Isis is back, and now you can see what the dress looks like without the jacket. And I also wanted to show you some of the images here because, of course, this is my kitty, Silcat back here, but this is one of the ocelots from Isis Oasis, and her name is aptly Isis. See?
For more information about Serena Toxicat and Mouscavelli, please visit their websites located in the information below. Thanks for watching. Check out more at www.catsynth.com, and please subscribe to Catsynth TV.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, Jason is going to be ready to speak now. And yeah, those were fun. Those were fun. Thank you, Amanda, for all those really, really cool videos of Serena. Okay, so I should unmute you now, right? Yeah, I'll unmute you.
Okay, I just wanted to say a few words. I've been listening in for most of it. I've been in the other room doing a little work of my own. I just want to say, you know, I didn't know Serena half as long as any of you. I only met Serena through Amanda, and I can only say that I really knew her well, maybe not even that well, for the past year. But the thing that always amazed me, the thing that always stands out to me is just the incredible amount of creativity that came out of her in just every single thing that she touched. I mean, you know, maybe it's been said before, but, you know, she lived her life as if it were a piece of art, you know. I mean, just the, you know, the fashion, the visual art that she did, the music and the writing, you know, it seemed all of a piece to me. It's just, you know, and just it didn't stop, you know, even when the quarantine came down, you know, she made her latest Protea album, and, you know, she just kept going. She was talking about another writing project she was working on. She even mentioned to us, though, I think the last time we saw her was the 22nd, maybe that's the last time anybody saw her. But it, you know, she talked about she was going to start writing another book. And, you know, I mean, just incredible, you know, an incredible person, incredible life lived, and just, you know, just really a giving person, a person who was just open, a person who was accepting of everybody. And just, you know, it's a huge, I mean, it hit us like a ton of bricks when we went over there and, you know, had to deal with it. And we want to say also thank you very much to the building manager, who was very, very kind through all of it, you know, right at the very end when we had to deal with all of that. But yeah, it was, she was one of a kind, and, you know, it's very rare to meet a person like that who can just, you know, jump from, you know, usually you think of things like that, like music as being one thing and the visual art being another thing and the clothing design and the writing being another thing. There's very few people who can do this and do this and do this and do this, and also, you know, be an open and accessible person and not some angry, grumpy curmudgeon, you know, shaking their fist at the world. You know what I'm saying? She had that inviting quality, you know, that just made you like, oh my God, you know, I can't believe this person even exists. You know, if I were to write a screenplay, you know, and I wrote this character or something in this thing, you know, nobody would believe it. Say, well, who's going to believe this? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was real. And yeah, I mean, it felt like the last, you know, in retrospect, you know, the last few months felt like a transitional thing, especially after Selket passed. It felt like, you know, she was kind of, for a minute there, she was kind of losing, you know, her ground. She seemed very, very flustered, of course, you know, for a long time. She stopped making videos, you know, after Selket passed until just recently. And, you know, but then, like I said, you know, she came out with her next album of music. She was working on some more painting. She was just kind of got a second wind, and, you know, fate had other things in mind, unfortunately, and this is the way things go. But, you know, I mean, without a doubt, it was a life lived in a positive manner, and it affected a lot of people in a positive way. So, you know, she was a beautiful person, and I think a lot of people carry that forward with her, you know? So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you all very much. Appreciate being able to, you know, take your time to say those things.
Okay. Thank you very much for the kind words. Ketiana is going to be speaking next. So let me make sure that happens. Okay. Okay, you should be able to speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. It's a little hard to speak. I'm nursing a migraine for like 3 or 4 days. and I've been crying throughout this whole thing, but I just wanted to say that I have so much love for her. And when I met her, we danced together for the first time, and every time we danced together, I'm so sorry, I'm trying not to cry. We bonded, we became one being, one feline, and we performed countless times together and countless events together. And even if we hadn't seen each other for a while, months, even like a couple years, when we did see each other, it was like, you know, we never parted. And the countless conversations and talks about music and dancing and cats, of course. And she was so creative, and I admired her so much for that, because I have no creativity except in my dancing, and that was the way I could be creative for her. And I'm so happy to be here. I mean, I'm not happy to be here, but you know, I'm glad to be here with everyone in support. And again, so much love for her. And this just sucks, but I just wanted to say that she meant so much to me, and thank you for doing this, Samiko. It's so hard. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for speaking. Yeah, it is hard, but I really am glad that you spoke and that you shared your thoughts on her. We all really miss her a lot. Okay, I'm gonna play another video of her, and perhaps if anyone else wants to speak, they can let Darcy know, and Darcy will let me know. Okay, wait a minute. What am I doing wrong? Okay, here we go. It's recent music that she just came out with this year with Star Chasm. So this is some new music by Serena.
She comes into our hearts like forks of lightning. We bleed the fluid of immediacy. It is poison mixed with rapture. It is fate wrapped in fire. These are our baptismal flames. Your mother is the earth, and mine is the sky, and sometimes they touch, and their meeting is called the horizon, and their song is forever. It is a place inside our hearts. It is a place inside of hell. It is paper consumed by fire. It is. Far from here are the black and silver skies, and fire does not cleanse, it only burns. Fire does not burn, it cleanses. times we could see so close to the glass, so clear that it cut us. And the ghost in the glass was a piece of us. That could not believe that it was God.
Hi. So we've got about 40 minutes left, so we're going to make sure that we have enough time for all of the any closing ceremonies or rites or rituals. Yeah, that was beautiful. I know Serena's so talented. And that was Star Chasm, and she just came out with that. She actually did quite a bit of work during shelter in place. So she had a Star Chasm and a Protea. She also was working on some other theatrical projects. So she did a lot in a very short period of time, processing the grief that she experienced over the death of Cellcat. There's some videos of her talking about the loss of Cellcat, which might be appropriate. And then I want to make sure that Tracy and Rain both have time for anything that they would be doing as a closing to these, these ceremonies. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find her singing the rose. She sang that at my mother's funeral, and she did like a little video or something of it too. Actually, yeah, it was cool. Okay.
I'm kind of shaky.
Is it time?
Oh wait, are you posting? I think are you posting? I think she's just posting.
Oh, she's posting the lyric. Okay. I think I'll play this one where she's singing at Peter and Paul Cathedral in Peterhof. That sounds interesting. Oh, it's only 47 seconds. Why is it like that? Okay, let's do this. Think it was going now?
No,
channeling
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I think that some other people did actually want to speak. And I got my cat ears too. I should have had my cat ears a long time ago. Let's see who's up now.
B.
V's iPhone. V's iPhone. Okay. Yeah, I should have had the cats on the whole time. So we're probably not happy. Okay. Okay, you're up now.
Miki, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see you too now.
Okay.
Hi, Brenda. I thought
Hi.
that might be you.
Yeah, I'm on my iPhone, so thank you. I guess I just wanted to start off by thanking you for bringing us all together. I think that Serena was a really pivotal person, not only for you, but for everybody in this room. And it's an honor to celebrate Serena's life with all of you. Speaking from my personal experience, there are 3 people in this world since I moved to the Bay who have been there for me in everything that I've ever done. One is you, Samiko. One is Desdemona. The third is Serena. And all of the things that I have done, all of the struggles I have ever faced, even when I had gotten married and twice, all of you showed up. And Serena was one of the kindest, most open-hearted, generous human beings I've ever known. That is a fact. And I'm happy to know that she has touched everyone else's life in the way that she touched mine. I'll be honest, when she crossed the Rainbow Bridge, it really felt like all the hope that I had for myself and for the world was lost. It's very difficult to lose one of your closest people. You don't get a lot of people who love you that hard and that strongly through your good and your bad moments. And I had noticed that her light had left the world the day before I knew she died. And I thought it was me, but I couldn't see her light in the world anymore. And I thought it was just me, and it turned out that it wasn't. And so I know that we're all having moments where we don't know what we're supposed to do during this pandemic, but do know this, that your life and your fire are always recognized, every single one of you, and you're recognized when your light goes out. And the thing that we can learn from Serena is how strongly she came for all of us, is that now we have to be here for each other using that same kind of unity and strength. And I hope that all of our relationships with each other will continue, because what is remembered lives, and our friend will always live on in us and through the good things that we do, and in the ways that we speak about her, and in the ways that we live our lives, and in the ways that we challenge ourselves and each other to be the best possible versions of ourselves. And I know that each and every one of us can do that. Thank you for letting me speak.
Yeah, thank you for speaking. It's now we've been here for 2.5 hours, well, more than 2.5 hours, holding each other's, up, and holding up Serena's memory. And I think that I really appreciate what you said. I think that beyond today, we're going to have to continue to be there to support each other, through this really difficult time. I'm going to play the rose because, that is, I have that. So hang on a second. Okay, so unless somebody else wants to speak, I'm gonna go ahead and let DeTracy start to do the dirge and stuff, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to the closing ceremonies because we've got 22 minutes left, so we're getting pretty close to the end. Okay. Yeah.
Hi. This is the sacred song that was written by Lady Lorianne Vanier, who founded the Temple of Isis and Isis Oasis. And she was also a close, dear friend and kind of a mother figure to Serena. She had, of course, the exotic cats up here, ocelots and servals and others that Serena was so tenderly playing with and caring for over many, many years. And so she wrote this dirge, and I just am posting the lyrics to it if anyone else wants to go along with it. I'll do it 3 times. And we often use Anubis, but for Serena, obviously Bastet. And Bastet was known as a guide of souls into the Duat, as well as Anubis. So here we go. Isis awakens thee in peace. Osiris awaits in the underworld. Bastet will guide you to a new destiny. What's beyond is a mystery. Isis awakens thee in peace. Osiris awaits in the underworld. Bastet will guide you to a new destiny. What's beyond is a mystery. Isis awakens thee in peace. Osiris awaits in the underworld. Bastet will guide you to a new destiny. What's beyond is a mystery. Goddess bless you, Serena. Goddess bless us all.
Thank you to Tracy. Serena used to be in a band with me and my mother in the 90s. And even though, we found out since that Morrissey is a jerk, we used to sing this song, so I probably will sing it. But I'm crying, so if I don't do it very well, you'll have to forgive me. Hand in glove, the sun shines out of our behinds. No, it's not like any other love. This one is different because I hand in glove, the good people laugh. Yes, we may be hidden by rags, but we've something they'll never have. And if the people stare, then the people stare. Oh, I really don't know and I really don't care. My mom and Serena used to sing it with me, and both of them could sing better than me. But I'm the only one left. Which is not fair. It isn't fair. But we made it this far, and I think that probably there's some things that we're supposed to do that are formal and fancy things that I don't even know how to do. I don't think that anything that really could be worthy, you know what I'm saying? Nothing can actually be worthy. But we're here. We make do with what we have to get here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to make this right at all. But I'm a Baptist. So I'm going to read the Lord's Prayer because I think that forgiving myself and forgiving other people and not carrying the weight of any kind of feeling that Serena's gone because we did something wrong, it was going to be really important because it's just hard not to forget. It's hard not to feel like to bargain. I keep bargaining, so I will read it. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So I'm going to try to forgive myself and forgive anybody else that feels like, they let her down. And she did say Jesus was for everyone, so I did go ahead and read that. But if there's anything else that people have to end this with that is from Serena's religious belief, I think that would be good. Is there anything else that should be said?
Nobody said anything about that.
Huh?
And nobody said anything about that.
No one has anything to say.
Rain never got back to me.
Rain probably left. Okay. But I think that song was really good. I bet you know stuff too.
Oh, Rain is here.
Rain is here. Was Rain gonna do something? Yeah. Yes. So Rain is going to go ahead and do this because we've now got 14 minutes left. And, so this is Reverend Rain. Thank you.
We have a saying in the Fellowship of Isis when someone dies, and it's basically something that we recite over and over for quite a long period of time, every day. And it is, I say your name so that you may live. Serena Toxicat, Denise Rovetti, I say your name so that you may live. And in closing, I have a short poem that I wrote for her. By no means a religious one, but she was a writer, and we often read together. And one of the things that I think would be great to end on when everyone is ready is just a super duper resounding meow. Every ceremony that we had together, everything that we did together, either at Isis Oasis or in her temple class in Oakland, or whether it was a reading or a music show she was doing or an art show, there would always be meowing, always. That was her language, and she spoke it very, very well. So I'm going to read this poem, and it's called Serena. Go now, Lady Flame, with your skin covered in fur. Queen of kittens, savior of the softest souls. Go now, ascending flame, with your cosmos dressing flesh. Goddess of lion hearts, savior of my little heart. Go now, enlightened consciousness, with your star maps, creature of all kindness, savior of hope in humankind. Go now, all that is love, beloved, loving, with all these gifts you gave us, remembered in our respective heavens, our rainbow, meteor, moondrop, comet of Katma, through the Lion's Gate and activated. Go now.
Meow.
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 Yeah, we gotta make that.
Fast, everyone.
Sends his best. So does Ziggy, but he's off camera.
Meow.